So for my project, I chose to research writing across the curriculum. Anyone who doesn't know what this means, it essentially means incorporating writing into all subjects which you teach. So some of these subjects, it may only be one or two things. Personally, I teach reading, science, math, social studies, and a designated writing block. So the goal of writing across the curriculum is to increase student understanding of the content area, subject matter, and to decrease stress and anxiety related to writing. The stress and anxiety piece is something that I definitely see in students daily. They constantly dread the writing time of the day that we have, and even though they've enjoyed writing in the past, they somehow cannot get over this negative thought that they have about writing. Writing across the curriculum is awesome because rather than only writing during this designated slot of the day that you have dedicated to writing, it allows opportunities for students to write throughout the day during all subjects. And this will help them really feel a lot more comfortable with writing and become better writers in general. So for example, if a student feels stronger in math and they're able to write about a math topic, that might help build their confidence for their writing. So the purpose of the presentation is to provide teachers with ways to incorporate writing in all subjects and the evidence to support why it is so important to do that. So one quote that really stood out to me is, if they produce a product that helps solve a real-world problem, that seems to be a great motivator. This really stood out to me because as we think about ways to include writing in all subjects, we really need to think about ways that students will be engaged and interested in this in order to make writing a more exciting and applicable thing to them. Because in the real world, you need to know how to be able to write correctly, and students need to be able to realize how it really does apply. So currently I teach 90 minutes of math, 61 minutes of reading, and 30 minutes of writing, and then a varying science and social studies every day. Our writing block is a mix of teaching grammar skills and then modeling all the different styles of writing, like opinion, open response, narratives, and informational. I do occasionally use mentor text right now, but given that I only have that designated 30 minutes of writing, it makes it really difficult to be able to read a whole book and then give students the opportunity to actually write. I am going to be trying to connect some of the science and the writing topics coming up because I've seen the benefits of it. We are going to be learning about animals, and I was thinking of providing students an opportunity to research an animal that's interesting to them and be able to write a report on it or create a PowerPoint on it, do some type of informational writing. I also know that my class really loves U.S. geography, so I was thinking a really cool idea could be to have them research a state and create a brochure of that state. These are just some ways I'm thinking of having them learn how to do research. Being third graders, they don't know how yet, and include that informational writing piece and even opinion writing piece, like why you should visit this state. So some of the existing resources that I have in terms of writing are, we follow the Collins writing program, and within this writing program, it does not actually utilize the stages of writing and the writing process with like pre-writing, editing, and revising. It actually focuses on not making every single piece of writing published. So yes, we do bring some pieces of writing to publishment, but we also do some pieces of writing that take 15-20 minutes about your opinion of the best snow activity, and then that's it. And each time kids write, they focus on things called focus correction areas, where they are only focusing on maybe including a simile in their writing and 5 adjectives and a great opener, and that's their only focus. And that really allows them the opportunity to really improve on certain skills and not have to worry about other skills at the same time. The other part of the Collins writing program that I do really love is the Learnal notebooks. This picture that I've provided on the side is an example of what a Learnal notebook could look like. So in the notebooks, the students perform quick writes, which all take under 5 minutes. And where it says type 1, a type 1 writing is they have a certain amount of time and they just write and don't stop. So I say, write everything you know about, I don't know, about Massachusetts. And then they write and write and write and write just to see what their background is. A type 2 writing would be something where there is a right and a wrong answer. So write a sentence using a compound word, and that's it. Something quick. The last thing that we use a lot of is sticky notes, which I will talk about later. So in math, I discovered this really awesome article that included ways to incorporate writing into math. Incorporating writing into math is something that I think a lot of teachers struggle with, myself included, because it's not a quick and easy connection. So this article that I found titled Writing in Maths was amazing because it actually just provided a bunch of different ideas. So one of them was for students to create a math dictionary where they choose words that they think are important and write definitions and provide examples. Another one is giving students sentence starters for math journaling, like what I learned today was, and I still don't understand. And I thought this would be really great in my classroom because we already have those learnals. So the students could, in their learnal, do a quick write for math journaling at the end of the math lesson or at the beginning of the math lesson. And I think that my favorite thing that I found in this article was the link sheets. I provided a picture of the link sheets on the side, and it's really cool because it allows the kids an opportunity to do just this quick write and write a word problem and make a connection to where they might see this math in the real world and draw a picture. So this example is focusing on the fraction 1/2, but it could be anything. It could be a math fact. It could be absolutely anything. So moving on, incorporating writing and reading, I think, is one of the easiest things for a lot of teachers because a lot of people do the whole thing where students read and then they write an open response or they answer questions afterwards. But my thought process is this is great and all, and a lot of standardized tests require that skill, but students really need to be able to engage with their text and their reading and think while they read and write while they read, rather than waiting until the end of their reading if maybe they didn't understand the entire time. The purpose of this presentation is to show how writing increases comprehension of all subjects. So really the goal should be to write to increase reading comprehension. So one way I do this in my classroom is using sticky notes that students can use throughout their reading. We call it stopping and jotting, where they can write down like the main idea, the character traits, make a connection, questions they might have, etc. Which doing these quick writings is not frustrating to them at all, and it allows them the opportunity to engage with their text. Sorvetti, one of the authors of one of the articles I read, provided 2 awesome quotes about the importance of writing in relationship to reading comprehension, which you can check those out. In science, I was very interested because a lot of the research I found supported science and writing incorporation. And I just found that very interesting because I had never really thought that that would be a huge focus. But obviously, science education is becoming more and more up and coming with technology increases and the need for more science-focused people in our adult society. So I found a lot of evidence that focused on how writing really helps with science understanding, and especially this bottom quote that reading science text as a received fact simply would not be doing science is an amazing point, because science is not this black and white thing that you can read in a textbook and be done with. It really should be explored and experimented, and it's like a trial and error and learning from mistakes process. And including more than just reading a textbook is so crucial. One idea that I found really interesting was the idea that of creating one large block of time to incorporate all of the subjects of science, reading, and writing. So the purpose of that, as you can see in the research I did, is that writing in isolation is really not beneficial. It should be done by making a connection to something. So the author Dodona, in their article in 2013, suggested creating one large block of writing of time, an hour and a half to 2 hours during the day, to incorporate all of these things. And personally, in my classroom, I think that would be awesome. I would love to get administration on board with that, because I think it would be a great way to get the kids engaged and excited about reading and writing. In social studies, I found that It provides a great opportunity for project-based writing, like writing a brochure or journal entries or posters, or even creating like a timeline or on paper or using iPads to incorporate some technology. One way I was thinking of doing this in my classroom is we're learning about colonial life next and the jobs of the early Americans. So I was thinking of, instead of just doing the videos and slideshows and articles that I usually do, of giving the students a colonial job, having them make a poster about it, or create a brochure to visit their colonial town or village. That might be a way to really get them to understand the content and apply their writing strategies. So in conclusion, by including writing in some form across all subjects, students are likely to feel less stressed, more confident, and gain a greater understanding of all content areas. This page just provides some food for thought. These were 2 excerpts from Cervetti's article that I found really, really interesting. So if you would like the opportunity to read those over, feel free. And these are my references.